Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am tonight's entertainment. All right. Just thought I'd start it like that. Why not? I force myself to laugh at myself sometimes. All right. What's happening, you guys? Thanks for tuning in today. The Habs have had a few days off here for us to take a little bit of a break, but still no shortage of Habs news. There's actually a handful of stuff that I'll talk to you guys about today. Not going to take a ton of your time. We'll fire through a lot of content in a short amount of time here, but what we're going to talk about just kind of fresh today is Gustav Lindstrom actually being sent down, actually not being sent down. He has been put on waivers. And if he does not get claimed by 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, he will report to the Laval Rocket, the Montreal Canadiens farm team, if you didn't know. I know you know. I just feel like mentioning things sometimes just to be specific in case some people don't know how it works. Okay. Um, on that note, Rafael Harvey-Pinard, Eric Engels just tweeted out before I hit record on this video. He is traveling with the team to Philadelphia tomorrow night. So he is not set to make his return tomorrow night in Philly, as Martin St. Louis confirmed after practice today that there will be no lineup changes from Saturday night's win against the New York Rangers, where Samuel Montembeault stole the game for the Habs. So there will be no lineup changes, but we do know that Gustav Lindstrom has been put on waivers, and it's freeing up a spot, according to Marc-Antoine Gaudin as well, which Eric Engels basically confirming that that is likely the case, that Harvey-Pinard is going to return to the lineup. And also it's going to allow Emil Heineman to remain with the Canadiens, so the Canadiens can get a bit of a longer look at him. This is already his second call-up this season within a number of weeks. So now that he's played his first home game with the Canadiens at the Bell Center, got more ice time, got some more experience out there, and now he's going to get a chance to get even more. So he'll get an opportunity to remain on that fourth line, likely with Yoel Armia and Mitchell Stevens. Mike Pizzetta will probably be the odd man out. Well, he will be the odd man out again. Actually, he played against the Rangers on Saturday night, so Heineman actually played on a different line, so I am mistaken on that. However, that being said, some more things I want to talk to you guys about. Besides that, Owen Beck actually just traded OHL teams, so he's finishing off his junior career with the Saginaw Spirit of the OHL. Filip mesar, of course, after playing with Team Slovakia at the World Juniors and having himself a 9 points in 5 games tournament at the World Juniors, will be looking to end his junior career also on a high note, returning to the top-seeded Kitchener Rangers in the Eastern Conference of the OHL. We'll see if Saginaw and Kitchener meet each other, being that they're both Western Conference teams in the OHL. We'll see if we get a Beck mesar matchup in the playoffs, in the OHL playoffs. And just like last year where Beck was facing Logan Mailloux in the OHL finals, let's see what happens there. Saginaw is apparently hosting the Memorial Cup, so if they actually go far, Owen Beck will be part of that team going to the World Junior Championship of Championships with Saginaw Spirit. So they've got a bunch of NHL prospects already on their roster. So both the Spirit and the Rangers, 2 top-seeded teams in the Western Conference. So let's keep an eye on them. And then again, with checking in with more prospects with the Canadiens, Lane Hutson returning, of course, to Boston University to continue the remainder of his season, where we know at the end of his season, he will be signing with the Montreal Canadiens. That's right. He will be signing his entry-level deal, according to Kent Hughes, and I believe Lane Hutson might have even touched on it as well. So that will be happening in the month of March, most likely, or in early April at the latest, unless Boston University goes on a much longer playoff run than expected. But that's what's expected to happen. David Reinbacher, not much to report on him other than the reports coming out after this whole Cutter Gauthier trade from Philly to Anaheim, which was crazy for Jamie Drysdale, the drama that's gone down there, and some of the answers that fans still haven't gotten in Philadelphia as to why Cutter Gauthier wanted out of the Philadelphia Flyers organization before they could even sign the guy. Big story there. We all have heard about it. And we also heard that Philadelphia, Arizona, among other teams, were interested in trading for David Reinbacher at the draft. I should say the 5th overall pick, knowing that the Canadiens may select David Reinbacher. So there was a good amount of interest in David Reinbacher's services last year at the NHL draft. And also, apparently, the Canadiens, according to sources from the Montreal media, also turned down a trade for Cutter Gauthier at last year's draft. I'm pretty sure it was last year's draft. So, yeah, he's been attempted to be shopped around for a little while, Gauthier has. So, you got to wonder what the reason is fully. We still don't have the answer to that. So it's an interesting conversation bit. Now he goes to join Trevor Zegras in hopes of being the top 2 stars of the Anaheim Ducks for a long time. Whereas the Philadelphia Flyers were hoping, I imagine, that Cutter Gauthier and in a couple of years, Matvei Michkov would be helping to lead their franchise into the next big phase of their development and their progress, their growth, their rebuild. So not necessarily a full rebuild for the Philadelphia Flyers, but you get the point there. So that's kind of the major part of the news that I have for you guys going through all of that here. Caden Primo will get the start as has been confirmed by Martin St. Louis in Philadelphia tomorrow night. So the Canadiens will return the night after for a back-to-back, which is still strange that they wouldn't just play the first game in Montreal since they're already there, but that's just the way scheduling goes. I don't understand it because I don't make the schedules for the NHL or any of their arenas or any of their events. So Canadiens will play in Philly tomorrow night. The night after on Thursday, they're going to be back at home to host the San Jose Sharks, where I would think that Sam Montembeault would get the start. It might be Jake Allen. What we have heard also from Kent Hughes is that the Canadiens are going to remain with the 3 goaltender tandem until ideally the trade deadline where that gets dealt with. But if not, they say they'll be hanging on to all 3 of them for as long as possible. But there will be a lot of talks about Jake Allen, maybe even Caden Primo. Sam Montembeault's not going anywhere. So it's going to be Primo or Allen that is going to be attempted to be dealt at this trade deadline this year. So we'll see how that turns out. In the meantime, all 3 goalies going to remain and going to play with the Montreal Canadiens going forward until at least the trade deadline or sooner if a deal gets reached before that, right? So that's all I got for you guys on this quick little Montreal Canadiens news update, if you will. And we'll see you guys tomorrow after the Habs and Philly game. I hope to see the Canadiens continue to play well, as I'm sure you do. And we'll see when Harvey-Pinard gets back into the lineup soon. Could be as soon as Thursday against the San Jose Sharks. We don't know for sure yet. But at that point, you have to think maybe Pizzetta is going to come out and then Harvey-Pinard will come back in, assuming they want to keep Emil Heineman in the lineup, which I think that they do going forward for the next few games here, unless he just really struggles or something. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. We'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.